Hello and welcome to the Brother Slim. This is Cam and we are in the endgame now of reading through the Oathsworn story chapter. So let's dive right into it. Chapter 20, Last Stand, written by Jamie Jolly and Tamara Farsadi. Some fun art there of, I'm assuming, the Raven's Fortress that we're at right now. Very bleak, very dour, very cool. So 7.1 on 159. Let's do that. 57 and 159. Oh, beautiful. Some Aurora going on. Love it. Okay. The Witchlight's ethereal brilliance suffuses the heavens from horizon to horizon. Misty, wraith-like ribbons of green, blue, and purple dance and conspire overhead, casting a soft, foreboding glow upon the valley below, yet somehow bolstering the darkness where shadows lurk. This should not be. The phenomenon, predating recorded history itself, has come far too early, a bad omen for those who deal in superstition. Standing on the ramparts of Raven's Reach, you can hear the sound of beasts in the distance, like a rising storm. Their broodmother had been just the first of them. More are coming. Many more. It is as though the whole Deepwood moves to thwart your efforts, an intense focus on you that seems to come from all around. You are not welcome here. Your intrusion into the Deepwood's heart will not be tolerated. Shaking your head to clear it, you remind yourself of your mission. Perform the keening, draw the monsters from the heart of darkness, and get inside. The last chance of a room lies within. The keening needs to happen now. Dark clouds gather above, and heavy rain soon follows. You have precious little time to prepare. Defenses must be bolstered, and the pyre must be built before the keening can commence. As you distribute tasks to your shoulders, a blinding flash of lightning streaks across the sky, silhouetting a dark figure perched on the eyrie of the fort's central tower. Small, brilliant eyes glare at you through the darkness as a second bolt of lightning strikes overhead, illuminating what appears to be a short beak jutting from the figure's head. An AV. Ooh, we have never seen one of these in the story before, except for our player character. Suddenly, Chronobo. Suddenly, a voice registers in your mind, feminine and grim. The darkness calls your name. We hear it also. As above, so below. The end of paths draws near, where madness is reason, and reason is madness. Darkness or death will be your choice, and your choice it will be, no others. Choose wisely, marked ones, for the world turns on it. Cool. Thoughts swirl through your mind as you send voiceless words in reply to the Avi, demanding she speak plainly, and explain what choice she refers to. Fierce avian eyes peer back with deep knowing. If you were told, there would be no choice, and without choice, all becomes nothing. The Avi silently replies, gesturing her long arms wide to the world. In the beat it takes to share a look with your companions, the Avi disappears into the night like Batman. So Chronobo is definitely with us. Let's go to 7.13. While your kin was speaking to your companions, you were able to commune with her and glean additional insight. Like you, the Abi is a disciple of the Ori, whose translation of the sacred Eschaton we know from ATO, basically the end of the world, set you on this path long ago. Her words to you were few. The first grains of sand, each carefully placed so others can follow, are now falling. Your task is nearly complete. The Harbinger gains a redraw token. Cool, and then turn to 7.5 over here. There is no time to ponder visions or prophecies. Your attention must be focused on the mission at hand. As the sound of your soldiers carrying out their orders clangs in the distance, you set about the task of sending word of your progress back to Varoom. Knowledge is humanity's best weapon against the Deepwood, and what you've learned will serve others should you fail here. Unfortunately, the cage of messenger ravens was lost at the gates of the Cursed City, and you will need to assign someone you trust to make the trek back home and deliver the message. If you do not have the failure on your free company sheet, and you have the mute boy, read that. I don't think we have failure. Let's take a look. You can check out my chicken scratch writing here. Yeah, no failure there. If you do not have failure, and you do not have the mute boy, okay, so then if you do not have Midge. Alright, so it is this first one, 7-11. Midge gives you a wry, suspicious grin as you look at him. The lad is fast and lighter on his feet than most. If anyone can reach Varoom quickly, it is him. This might also be your last chance to save the orphan. You've watched Midge grow into a strong young man, yet he is too young to be facing his death today. He pleads with you to stay, but you tell him this assignment is far too important to pass up. Word of what transpired in this forsaken city, as well as the details of the landscape and beasts surrounding Raven's Reach, is critically important information. If your mission fails here, Broom will need to prepare for what is to come. You hand Midge the blood compass you were given by the Watchers. Share a few parting words of courage with the lad. Sending him on his way, you linger on the main gate long enough to watch him disappear into the Deepwood. Archive Ally 1, Midge. Goodbye, Midge. I don't think we have a Finian ally. Let's take a quick little look through. Marilla, Rubik, Man-at-Arms, William. God Should Be Gone, Lacine, Great Cane, Harold. Harold's my fave. Midge, you were gone now too. Lena, Quintus, Lady Lena is also supposed to be gone. The Golem, Ram, Jonathan, King of Average, Will, and Tom Bassel. That's a new one. That's from Gen Con this year. So no Finian. So we don't have Finian. 7.2 we go. On your orders, the soldiers have erected a large wooden post toward the center of the fortress and begun piling materials around it for the great pyre. Defending the flames will be the most important aspect of the keening, aside from the witches themselves, whom you chain to a nearby hitching post. We do not have Betrayed. 7.12 we go. You first bind the siblings from Sestercia to the hitching post. The brother and sister exchange silent and mournful looks with one another as the cold iron chain seals their fate. The third and final sacrifice, the witch from Thrace, is still under the effects of the Aether and requires little effort to secure. I don't think she's going to be for long, though. She is placid now, but you have had to give her your last dose of Aether back in the Forbidden City. You can only hope it holds her under long enough. So, I don't know if I made a mistake in a previous story, but I actually still have one thing of Aether. As the pyre continues to take shape, the reality of the moment strikes you. Until now, the keening had only been a distant task, waiting at the end of a long line of other events. The terrible choice pushed back as you had always hoped another way would be found. That somehow it would not come to this. However, staring at the pyre before you, you realize you are out of time. The myriad choices are collapsing to a single question. Could you sacrifice one to save many? You will need to decide soon. 7.9. A horrifying screech bellows in the distance, pulling you from your thoughts. You've counted the seconds since the last cries of the horde were heard, and they are drawing closer, fast. The swarm will be massive, far larger than the one that pushed you into the Forbidden City. At least you have a fort to protect you this time, though it is old and crumbling. Hopefully we'll hold them off long enough for the pyre to be completed. Open envelope H. Oh, cool. You know what? I think this is a new envelope. I don't think we've done this one. Awesome. So, mystery envelope H, and this is potentially one of the last mysteries we'll get from this game. Kind of wild to think about. Crack that open. Ooh! This looks extra special. I think it's a smaller map too, which is kind of nice. We can actually fit basically everything on the screen there. So, Raven's Reach, the fortress. Locations are in red. So we got the pyre down on the bottom. There's all kinds of beasties on the sides. Dreamcatcher there. Oathsworn insignia. Raven's Reach. All right, well, let's put that out and we shall continue our reading. I didn't see a time track for this one. So we'll see if there's anything else that we need. That a little more front and center there. That is a very cool map. As you listen, an officer salutes you. He would send his men to scout the fort for any remaining dangers and to get a lay of the land. He begins telling you that the outer walls had once been impressive defenses. They've been weathered by time in the Deepwood, but they should hold as long as you properly man them and there are no breaches elsewhere. At this point, you're thankful for any strong stones standing between you and the Deepwood. He continues by telling you two of the large towers that stand vigil above the Outer Bailey. Outer Bailey, inner gates, foregates. I think Outer Bailey is left bastion, right bastion. My memory of castle terms is not sufficient from reading Redwall back in the day. I think the Outer Bailey is either like these fortifications, or maybe just the wall itself, or this might be the Outer Bailey. I'm not too sure. Being the Inner Bailey. Yep. So that'll be the outer one. Okay, so continues by telling you of two large towers that stand vigil above the Outer Bailey, one of which is equipped with fat bronze tubes aimed at the edge of the tree line. These must have been some sort of powerful weapon used to keep the beasts away from the wall. One of those are cannons. The second tower will provide the perfect lookout spot for your soldiers at its height, as its height offers unobstructed views of the fortress's perimeter, allowing them to see where creatures are approaching from. Then he points out that the Inner Bailey contains an armory and an old stable. The armory has collapsed, however, but with a little scavenging, you may find something useful within. He finishes by telling you of one of the only serious weaknesses in your defenses, a large tunnel burrowed beneath the fortress wall. He surmises it is the breach which brought about the fall of Raven's Reach long ago. Thanking the officer, you turn his soldiers to set up an improvised alert system within the tunnel using scraps of old weapons and armor. Hopefully it will help you detect if something infiltrates through there. Turn to 7.3. With the fortress's defenses assessed, the construction of the pyre underway, you begin to... There's just 13 of us, too, if I remember correctly. Or 13 plus Oathsworn. You begin to formulate a plan to hold back the beasts until the pyre can be completed. There are not enough men... There's actually 12 of us with Midgecon. To man every defense simultaneously. Instead, you will need to use an adaptive strategy, moving squads of soldiers to key positions to bolster specific locations needed. Small squads reacting quickly to threats allow you to efficiently utilize the limited manpower available and buy you precious time needed for the keening. It is time to form regular squads and free company squads. Forming regular squads, take 10 unused hit point dice, place them nearby, and turn them so the total pips that are facing up are equal to the amount of soldiers you have recorded on your free company sheet. 6, 6, and 3. I can't remember. I thought it said there's only like 13 of us left. That was the only people that survived. But I've got on the sheet, we've got 3 squads. Yeah, I can't remember. Well, let's just go and just use what they have in the example here and see we've got 25 soldiers. So it's going to be... Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21. Okay, so there we have our squad points. Forming free company squads. Place as many of your combat ally cards as you want next to each Oathsworn player board. Ignore men-at-arms promo cards and non-combat allies. The Oathsworn characters and chosen allies then become a free company squad. There will be 4 free company squads in total, 1 for each Oathsworn. place as many allies as we want next to our Oathsworn. So you, that's not combat. Men-at-arms aren't being used. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So each Oathsworn character is going to get 2. So let's put you and you together. I like the look of that. Willem and Harold together. I like the look of that too. Lena and Quintus together. So I should do these two. Brevik and Quintus. And then 72 on pages, open the journal on page 72 to 76 and read the siege rules. Siege rules. So I'm going to read this to myself, so go ahead and pause it if you want to read. I'll just flip through here so that you can see. There we go. And last page there too. And I will be back in a few minutes once I've read this through. Okay, well, that took a hot minute. There's definitely, it's not hard, but there's a lot of moving pieces for this, which is pretty freaking cool. All right, so the squads are all gathered before you, faces set against the pouring rain. All of them have proved their competence and loyalty time and time again. No one needs to say what this defense means. They know. This will not be a fight that you can win. The mission is to buy enough time for the pyre to be completed and for the keening to draw the monsters from the heart of darkness. There is no more time for big speeches. No more time for a grand gesture. As you make your way to the battlements, you nod to those you pass and know that it will be the last time you see most of them. Turn to 1.1. A sound like thunder rumbles off in the distance. The first attack wave is nearly upon you, and many more will follow. There are several locations which must be defended, and you are all that stands between the creatures and the keening. No matter the cost, you must prevail. Okay, I'm not going to bother with those tokens because it's not going to matter for this story read. According to the reports from your scouts, the first attack will come from the north. You will need to defend that side of the fortress as well as the bastions. Deploy all squads. Okay, so. We need a 3 here. We need a 3 here. We definitely like the cannon. I think we'll put a 2 on the cannon. I'm actually going to need a few more miniatures here too. Okay, so this is the team that we use the most when we were actually playing. So we've got Krenobo, the Avi Harbinger. Hobathor, the priest. Sojourn, the penitent. And I can't actually remember the blade's name. It was something like Adeline, but not quite. Okay, let's see. How do we want to do this? I think penitent is going to be there. Let's put the blade here. Coming from the north. Let's put you at the lookout tower. No, let's put just a 2 at the lookout tower. I do want a 3 on the pyre. Postern gate. Let's put a 3. You know what? Let's put you at the postern gate. Hobathor at the inner gate. And then 3 at the armory. Let's actually do. I can only do 1 to 4. Only 1 to 4 people there. Oh, I'm just going to. Oh, that works. Let's just do 4. We got 2 at the fire. And then we have 6 4 gate. 6 at that 4 gate. And 4 at the cannon tower. All right, so in summary, we have the blade himself at the left bastion. We have 6 normal soldiers at the 4 gate. The penitent and 3 soldiers at the northern battlement. Actually, I think I can switch that. There we go. 3 soldiers at the right bastion. Avi at the postern gate. Hobathor at the inner gate. 4 soldiers at the cannon tower. 2 at the lookout, 3 at the armory, and 4 at the pyre, which is as many as we can have there. Remember not to leave any undefended paths to the pyre. And remember to assign people to start building on it. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Turn to 1.7. With the troops deployed, you take your positions and wait for the attack. The Deepwood has suddenly fallen silent, and with a pregnant pause that precedes every battle. It begins with a soft, cool breeze rustling from the underbrush. Then, in an explosion of horror, you watch the woods come alive. Dark shapes burst forth in a storm of claws, tentacles, and gleaming teeth dripping with acid and saliva. Assault location 21. 21. 22. 21, the left bastion. Okay. Remember, after you've drawn white cards, allies may sacrifice themselves to add a black card. With a strength of 7. Okay, so let's see if I remember these rules correctly. So we get to draw might cards based on who we have. And we have 2 allies and the blade here. So we get to do a... Let's take a quick little refresher here. One black might card per Oathsworn, a yellow per attached ally. Okay, so black. Oh no, that's no good. That is a blank. You know what? I don't know when the last time I used these was. I'm gonna shuffle these. Okay, there we go. So let's do this just for the cards all shuffled. So black die for the Oathsworn, 4. And then we get 2 dice. 2 yellows from the allies. 4, 2, 6. Nice. And we would have gotten to add, I think, 2 to that as well. Let's just double check there from having the cannon tower. 2 per person, and that's once per wave. Okay, so we don't need to. That's good. So we successfully defend, meaning we only lose... I need to look this up again. So the one tricky thing with this encounter, or this story, is it's brand new rules that you're only using for the first time, and it's like 3 or 4 pages of rules, which is really cool, but it means a lot of things to check. Okay, so we're going to lose an ally, and we're going to take a wound on our buddy here. So we're going to archive Lysine! Oh, goodbye, Lysine. Oh, that's sad. Okay, so... If you've lost or sacrificed any allies without closing the storybook, go to journals 78 and 81. Oh no. Okay, Lysine. You know what? No, I'm gonna do Many Winters first, actually. Many Winters, the badass bear guy. Okay. So, Many Winters, where are you at? Many Winters. Standing atop a mountain of corpses, Many Winters roars a challenge with each swing of his giant axe. Even for an Ursus as mighty as him, the story must come to an end. In what is surely his greatest feat, this chapter of his saga will never be recorded on his armor. Dang, that's sad. That's really like that little paragraph, though. That's really well put. If you lost or sacrificed any other allies, and you've not read the section, do so now. So we don't. We just wouldn't worry about him. We've got the bioform dog, which I forgot about from earlier, so I'm just going to add it there and just use that. The guide is the bioform dog. Turn to 1.8. Assault location 22. Okay, so 22 is going to be less good. We just have 3, I think, whites. Yeah, 3 whites. Get 1, 2, 3. For a total of 3, we need 4 more. However, we can use the guard tower, or the cannon tower, to assist us. I like how it doesn't actually say like what the cannons are. It's just like, oh yeah, you as a player will know. Okay, so you may add 2 per person at this location to any place to repel. Well, let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be 4, 3, 7 gets us exactly where we need to be. So we lose 2 soldiers, going down to 1 soldier there. Ouchie kibbles. We didn't lose any allies, so then turn to 1.5. The soldiers hold as well as they can, these men and women fighting with ferocity to match the creatures they face. Another assault comes, and while you can tell there are more coming from the depths of the Deepwood, your scouts tell you there'll be more breathing room after the next assault. Okay, assault location 15. Nice, so we have 3 allies and Oathsworn here. Okay, so we have, let's do 2, blank, blank. Then we have 2 allies with us. 3, 2, 5, 6. And then we have 1 black. Oh no, getting a blank. That's a bummer. So we could redraw black. So 5, 6. Let's have an ally sacrifice themselves and see if we can get a better card there. 4, That's exactly what we needed, getting us to 10. Okay, so we've gotten to 10, meaning we had to sacrifice an ally to do it. Oh, sweet Harold. Let's do Willem, the young squire. So Willem is no more. Let's read his little outro blurb. Watch out! Are the last words you ever hear from Willem. You see the young squire bravely charge a creature who is about to fell another soldier, throwing him in between the two. No, this is sad! Okay, and so then we need to lose 2 soldiers, so let's do that, going down to 1 there. Okay, Pyre is not breached, so let's do 1.2. You have survived the first wave, but you know the attacks will only increase in strength. Shouting out commands, you urge the soldiers to fight on and to keep building the pyre. Add 1 yellow might cube to the circle near the pyre for each person you have at the pyre. Max 4. So we have 4. Four yellow might cubes. I think we need to get to like 14 or 15 or something like that, which seems pretty heinous, but we'll see. If you have any squads on location 4, the armory, turn to 1.4. That we do. We got 3. The soldiers assigned to the armory search through the rubble for anything that may be useful. Perform a search check, difficulty 6. Add 1 to the result if you have on the armory. Cool. Okay, cool. And then 2.1. Onwards we go. A sea of green stretches from horizon to horizon as you stand on the ramparts. With a sharp eye and keen ear, you try to glean an indication of where the next attack will come from. Perform a spot check, difficulty 4. Okay, yeah, we are just going to get this because this is too easy. Okay, so spot check, difficulty 4. Then we get to add something like 3. So let's just do 2 and 3. Oh, that's a critical 2. Nice. Yeah, so we get it, and then we get to add how many people are at the lookout. 2 to it, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 is what we get. Okay, so 2.7. The areas to the west and north are utterly still and quiet. No assault will come from there. But when you look to the northeast, you see dark shapes moving between the trees. An assault from that direction is likely. You also hear loud rattling from the tunnel below. Yet another point they will try to exploit. You do not have all the information, but you must do what you can. Okay, so the tunnel below, and what was it? Northeast. Okay, northeast. Redeploy all squads. All right, so we've got Avi up here. I think we're going to redeploy Hobothor to the tunnel and give him the support of the armory guys, and we'll switch that out. Right, Bastion's been pretty depleted. Let's switch to the lookout. Let's switch this. So we'll go there. Go there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, 2.2. The rattling from the tunnel grows louder and louder until the creatures froth at its entrance. Oh, okay, yeah. Louder and louder until the creatures froth at its entrance, right at the heart of Raven's Reach. Assault location 2 with a strength of 10. Narsty, narsty, narsty. So, we've got 3 white draws. Let's go ahead and do that first. We got 1, 2, 3. Ouch. So just 1. Then we got 2 yellows. Oh. Just 1 once again. And then we have a black for Hobathor for 3. Okay, so we only have 5. We can add 3 to it for 7. I think we're going to have to sacrifice an ally. Let's go ahead and sacrifice Brevik here to get a additional black. Get a crit. So we get 8, 9, 10. We do it, and we didn't need to use the tower here. Awesome. Let's read Brevik's outro here as he expires. Brevik, the sellsword Brevik, who has more than earned his keep during his time with you. He fights with pure rage, and this fight has become personal for him. His wrath clouds his judgment, however, as a massive flash overtakes him as he overextends his attack. Thank you, Brevik. You did good. You did good. And so we had to lose. Okay, so this is going to go down to 1. There we go. .4. The assault is coming from the north and northeast, heading straight for the right bastion. Trees topples a large, lumbering monstrosity suddenly erupts from the woods and charges towards the northern battlement. Oh no, there's no one on the northern battlement. Oh no! Did I? Because I did that. Well, let's do it. Let's just say it's that. That's fine. With a strength of 12. No, let's do this right. So, okay, then we need these guys. Did I do that right? Yeah, so I did that. I did not deploy very good in this case. So, breached. Oh my goodness, this is awful. I think I've made a great mistake. And then what happens when I get my single white, which is not going to be enough. Oh, I get a crit, another crit, and a blank. So I get 4. Out of 12. Okay, so that was pretty freaking rough. These people are now gone, and the armory has been breached. But that's being stopped. Okay, 2.11. Assault location 18 with a strength of 6. All right, well, this should be much easier. I just got to do a little shuffle for the white cards here. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 for a total of 4. We get, we have here one of these. Bummer, getting a blank. And then a black, also getting a blank. So 3, 4. So we'll use the tower here to succeed, or the cannons to succeed. So then we lose 2. So we go down to 1. There we go. Ouchie kibbles. Turn to 2.13. Upon assaults, batter the walls of the ancient fortress. The mounds of killed creatures starting to build ramps for those who come behind. This is the last assault of this wave, but you know that there will be more. Assault location 22. With a strength of 7. So, I mean, this one shouldn't be too bad, right? So we got 3 wets. Do the first. Blank, because of course. Crit. Blank. And then 2. So that should be it, right? Because it was a... Yeah. Ouch. Okay, so 2. A black. Oh my goodness, these blanks are killing me. And then a yellow, which is also a blank. Oh no. Okay, so this one is going to be a fail. In which case, we'll just wipe them out. Okay, so 2.9. You've turned back another wave of monsters. A quick peek at the work at the pyre tells you progress is slow but steady. Add 1 yellow mite cube to the circle near the pyre for each person you have. Max 4. 3, 4. So there we go. We're at 8. So I do have some items, but I don't know what they do or where they're actually listed here. Oh, that's what they do. Okay. Well, that is really, really good. Let's see. Okay, 3.1. Your numbers are steadily dwindling, and you can no longer defend the entire fortress. It is critical for you to determine where the next... Okay, no, 2.6. So we gain some stuff. Cool, cool. Then 3.1. Your numbers are steadily dwindling, and you can no longer defend the entire fortress. It's critical for you to determine where the next attack will come from if you hope to survive. Let's just go ahead and say that we do succeed here. So let's go to 3.9. With each creature slain, the Deepwood seems to grow more and more alive. You can see the branches of the cursed trees bending. Reason why I feel like this is taking a lot longer than I would like to, and I'm just kind of curious about the story. And yeah, so just going to skip ahead for the story. Okay, you can see the branches of the cursed trees bending, reaching out for the walls, hungry for blood. Everywhere you look, creatures stalk the shadows, waiting for their chance to strike. The next assault will come from nearly every direction. However you track the creatures' movements, you are confident they will not attack the postern gates and the eastern battlements. To the northwest, however, you hear trees cracking and see them crash down as a massive beast lumbers toward left bastion. So a massive beast towards left bastion. And there we go. Let's redirect to there. As you redeploy your troops to better defend against the next wave, a soldier to the pyre calls out to you, "Sir, the Thracian witch! She's waking up!" Instinctively, you reach for the satchel with the Aether. You suddenly remember there's none left. You'll need to find another way to ensure the witch remains unconscious. You may freely move allies between free company squads. You may redeploy all squads to new locations. You may assign an Oathsworn to the pyre to deal with the witch. Cool. Let's assign the penitent to the pyre. Will come from nearly all directions, or if you track their movements. Well, I think let's do you back to here with that. Left bastion. Hobithor, where do we want you? So we can't do those because they've been worked through. Oh, losing arms. We'll just leave that out there. And then let's do Western Wall there. Okay, so that would be 2, 4, 6 people there. Okay, well, 3.15. All at once, the Deepwood attacks from every direction, nearly breaking through on the initial charge. As waves of creatures slam into the ancient fortress walls, they clamber over the steadily rising corpse piles, clawing their way up to the viscera-coated walls. Assaults, location 15, with a strength of 10. 13. Okay, so that is going to get overrun. Oh, this might be really bad, actually. So that means, boom, that's already overrun. And then that would keep going down to here. Stables. Oh my goodness. I think this would chain all together. Let me just double check, though. Oh, no, never mind. I think it would just this one. Okay, so, strength of 10. We do have an Oathsworn. Let's go ahead and do that. So 5 is a crit, which is nice. So we get 8 just from that. So we've got an ally as well for 2, and then we have 2 of these. Okay, so 8, 10, 12. Okay, so we're good there. Then we need to get rid of that, which is a bit of a bummer. Turn to 3.2. Assault location 20 with a strength of 7. Okay, that is going to get broken through then also. 20. So that is... And there we go. And then the east parapet. Alrighty, so this is going to be more than 10. Meaning it's going to be a strength of 8. So we have... Let me get these out of the way. One and 2. Oh, black blank. And then just one of these. So that would be... Let's sacrifice an ally, but we'll use the item that we haven't talked about to negate it. So we have 4, and then we can add 2 to the result. So it'd be 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unfortunately, we need an 11. So we lose people. And then we'll take him off the board because he has to take a wound because of that too. You can come back after though. Turn to 3.6. Assault location 13 with a strength of 10. Okay, this is going to be bad, but maybe not horrendous. We'll see. because we have an ally, which is a crit. Nice. So 3, 4, and then you've got a single black, which is a crit as well. This black blank's been killing me, though. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll add that one here. So we succeed. So we lose 2, meaning he's got to take a wound. .12. Assault location 22 with a strength of 7. Okay, 22 with a strength of 7 is once again going to be no good stuff happening. So 22. There we go. Okay, that's go to Ben there. This is not going to sit there. This is looking really bad. All right, so 7 is going to become 8. And let's see what we can do here. So we get 1 ally, which is blank. Good stuff. 2 whites. We get a crit, which is awesome. And then the second ally one. There we go. And then a black for the Oathsworn. So 3. So 2, 4, 5, 8. I think we just pull that one off. Then to 3 points, and we go. At the edge of your vision, you catch sight of a massive beast charging the left bastion. Lesser monsters turn into wet crimson puddles beneath its stampeding tread as giant footfalls bring it closer to the fortress's walls. 21 with a strength of 12, so this is where we reinforce the most. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to clear these out of the way. So we got a black. 3. We have, I think for Chronobo, we do actually have 2 allies still. A miss and a crit. Nice. And then we have 4 allies. So we get a blank. And then just got to shuffle these back up. Two, 3, and 4. Okay, not looking good. So 2, 6, 8. Yeah, so we fail this one. So then they are taken off. And then this is overwhelmed. .11. Bloodied in body and weapons, it feels as if the assault will never end. There is no telling if your defenses can survive another attack of this scale. You need to finish the pyre soon. Assault location 16. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to skip to reading to the end here because I am kind of over this. It's taken a very long time. And while cool, yeah, it's just taken a lot longer than I expected. So yeah, I'm just gonna read ahead. Choose the first applicable option from the bottom. If the pyre is breached, no. If there is a free company squad on the pyre, yes. 317. Let's go to that. As you hear the dying screams of the remaining beasts outside the fortress walls, you suddenly feel the ground shake yet again. Turning toward the pyre, you see waves of force rolling up from beneath the Thracian witch. She is waking. Snapping into action with the butt of your weapon, you render the woman unconscious once more. She is growing more powerful. You must perform the keening soon. Turn to 3.4. Having survived yet another wave of monsters, you urge your troops to quickly finish the pyre. The keening cannot be delayed any further. So it'd be 4 more there. So that would bring us up to 12 in total. 4.1. Onwards we go. The roar of the Deepwood rises once more, and you quickly ascend the ramparts to determine which direction the attack is coming from. Turn to 4.10. You know you'll not be able to hold the fortress much longer. Its ancient walls crumble a little more with every massive cloud that strikes them, and the beasts keep coming. Surveying the tree line, you spot movement to the north, east, and northeast, but nothing to the west. The foregate, left bastion, and western wall should be safe, however. You can hear the loud rattling of old equipment in the tunnel once again. As you look to the east, you see a large shape snaking its way between the trees. A centipede-like monstrosity tramples over the roiling swarms of creatures, stabbing them with its pincer-like legs as it thunders toward the fortress. It will cost precious lives to take that thing down unless you do something. Okay, 4.14. Shouts from all around ring out as another wave of beasts crashes against the fortress' mighty walls. Looking at your brave soldiers, allies, and companions, you see this fortress is being held by bloody mindedness and sheer will alone. Turn to 4.5. I think first things first, let's read a couple more death scenes here, because I think more people would have died. The Golem is going to pass on from this round. The tally of corpses around the Golem grows steadily as bone and flesh are pounded with tireless strength, but even the automaton has its limits. Felled by a massive ebon-clawed creature, you watch as the powerful gift from the Watchers explodes, immolating all those around. And then we'll have Quintus also expire. Actually, you know what? No, let's do the Bioform Pupper, which is really sad. The ferocity of the typically calm creature is unexpected as it attacks the charging Deepwood monstrosities. Again and again, it snaps and bites encroaching beasts, always keeping itself between you and the next danger. It finally gives its life trying to prevent a tentacle creature from reaching you. Sad times indeed. What about Lena? What happens to Lena? Lena wields her powers with incredible control during the fight. She's matured greatly since being rescued from the satyr, but the dark light in her eyes is not enough to save her today. As she dies, an explosion emanates out from her that disintegrates everything around her. Okay, turn to 4.5. Assault the location, and turn to 4.7. Go to 4.8. Sharp, segmented legs pierce the stone wall as a centipede creature skitters up the eastern wall. Long, spindly feelers hungrily search for prey as it attempts to breach her defenses. 4.12. Okay, back to 4.2. The ground is slick with the blood of the dead and dying. With each creature you slay, 2 more jump up to replace them, and your weapons grow heavy in your hands. Okay, Pyre is not breached, so 4.6. The number of corpses surrounding the fortress is beyond counting. A killing field of corrupted life and good soldiers. You drive your weapon home once more, and to your relief, realize that the wave has ended. Between gasping breaths, you glance at the pyre. So that would be the last of them. If there are 14 might cubes, turn to 6.1. Okay. All Oathsworn gain tokens and extra unique item. It is now or never. The fortress may fall, but the keening is ready. During a brief lull in the battle, you use the opportunity to make a run for the pyre. Sprinting through the courtyard, rain pours down in a deluge so loud it drowns out the sound of death and screeching that surrounds you. Okay, 6.5. You approach the figures on the pyre, amber torch in hand. The only crime you've committed is to be born with malefic powers. They have committed is to be born with malefic powers. And yet, here you stand, having to pass the ultimate sentence. You are Oathsworn to protect humanity, not executioners. Yet today, you are called to be, asked to sacrifice the few for the many. We do not have a witch in our group, so 6.7. It has been a long road to bring the witches here. Many have died to see it done, but as the moment approaches, you pause. The burden of your responsibilities threatens to crush you. Killing an attacker is one thing, but killing undefended people is quite another. You look down at the amber torch. Oh, I think we're going to do it, because we're going to die here anyways. 6.4. This is your task, your responsibility. This is a heavy burden, yet you will carry it nonetheless. Taking solace in the fact that no one else will have to. Stepping up to the pyre, you ignite the wood and amber beneath the feet of the witches, and the flames begin to rise. Turn to 6.12. The least you can do is honor the condemned souls by looking into their eyes while you meet their fate. As your gaze falls on Aurelia, the Thracian witch, you freeze. She's staring back at you. She is awake. You land 10 feet away as the explosion of kinetic force erupts from the Thracian's body. Aurelia lets out a scream of rage and the pyre is torn asunder. The flames are immediately extinguished and the remains of the other witches next to her are scattered to the walls by waves of force. Aurelia rises from the ruin of the pyre, and you can see the rain striking a nimbus of shimmering air rolling around her in a sphere of kinetic protection. You've faced potent witches before, but this woman might be the most powerful ever recorded. Hovering above the ground inside her kinetic bubble, you see the wrath written plainly across her face. She's been drugged and dragged to the Deepwood, and she does not know what is happening. The only thing she does know is that for the first time, she is free of the delirium and means to exact her revenge. In a desperate attempt to regain advantage, your remaining soldiers charge the witch's one. Aurelia glares at them hatefully, and with both hands raised, levitates the remaining squad a dozen feet into the air and slams them back to the ground. You hear the sound of bones breaking as they're crushed into the flagstones. As Aurelia raises her hand a second time, what rises back into the air then are just the corpses that begin to orbit around her. Oh god! The effort of killing your soldiers has weakened the witch, and you gauge there are only a few seconds before the next wave of monsters hits the fortress wall. If you do not complete the keening soon, all hope of drawing away the much larger horde of beasts from the heart of darkness will be lost. You do not know if killing the witch will cause the keening, but you do know you won't be leaving this courtyard whilst she lives. That's the end of that story chapter. So, just wanted to add some quick thoughts on this mechanic. Really, really cool, but doing it as a whole group, I feel like it would take a really long time. So going into this as a surprise on like a weeknight playthrough, you would be in for a long haul, or at least me and my group would be for sure. But let's keep on going and open the second to last box. The age-old question, what is in the box? And we have the Witch Aurelia. Oh, I did start to paint this one. I just never finished. Cool. And I love that she has the flying stand here, which is or the stand to be hovering upon. You know, go in there. Something like that. Let's pull that up here. Pretty cool indeed. Kind of like an anticlimactic miniature, but then again, like it's badass and it's different. And I'm assuming it'd be a really cool fight. So we'll put her down. I guess I probably should have actually looked at these things first. So we have the encounter board. Oh, that art is awesome. She looks pissed, and rightfully so, Aurelia. Very cool. The special rules. Take a little looky-loo there, and pause if you want to read through everything. And then we'll go on to the unique items. What do we get? Midnight, two-handed staff, which looks pretty sick. Stormsire, a wicked-looking mace. Theosis, that's freaking sick and looks so badass. Really like the name too. A play on Apotheosis is my guess. Warlord, big old one-handed axe, looks pretty sick. Grimblade, one-handed dagger. And that's that. Cool. Well, let's take a look at the epilogue for this. Oops, that is too far. Okay, in chapter 21, epilogue. With a final blow, the witch falls, the telekinetic shield finally having failed. Her eyes widen as she arches her back and unleashes a terrible death scream. The sound waves slam in at the base of your skull, knocking you off your feet. Your nose bleeds and the edge of your vision begins to blur as every cell in your body threatens to shake apart. You've heard this before, a lifetime ago in Bastogne, the keening. Suddenly, the earth begins to quake, not from the keening, but in reply to it. A cacophony of howls and roars and uncounted screams thunder from the heart of darkness towards Raven's Reach. It has worked. Nice, I like that a lot. It's totally like a callback to the very beginning of the game. Well written there. Mucho burrito, awesome. Wasting no time, you rush into the tunnel. You know it will lead you outside. Beyond it, the way is open to the heart of darkness and your journey's end. Cool, cool. And that is the end of chapter 20. Not gonna lie, it's like I guess like trying to kind of play through it properly. Again, took a lot longer than I was expecting, but that's definitely a very suitable, epic, like conclusion kind of chapter. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Well, next time that we do this is going to be the very last chapter of this game. Thanks for tuning in for these. They've been fun to play through, and yeah, this has been sweet. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!